Let's talk about an anterior pelvic tilt and how that might impact diastasis recti healing, leaking, and prolapse. For starters, when you're in an anterior pelvic tilt, your pelvis is shifted forward. So there's lots of things going on here. You've got pressure in your abdomen, which is keeping your DR from healing. You've got pressure going down onto your bladder, which could be keeping a cystocele and leaking from healing. And then you've got some tension from the back that is compressing all of those back muscles. And then you have over lengthened hamstrings. So what we want to do is we want to work on those lower abdominals. We want to work on expanding our breath into to the back to open up and release those tight muscles. And then we want to work on getting those hamstrings to pull the pelvis under. I'm going to show you 3 exercises today that you can start incorporating into your routine. Our first exercise is child's pose breathing. I'm going to use the pillow to support my breathing to get my breath into my back. I'm going to place my head on my yoga block for support, and I'm going to come into a child's pose position. I'm going to think about inhaling through the nose for about 4 counts. And as I inhale, I want to think about my breath expanding laterally into my rib cage and then into my back, and then slowly making its way down into my low back and down into my pelvic floor. Then I want to think about exhaling from my mouth, so allowing all the breath to come all the way out so I can get a better and deeper inhale as I inhale for the next contraction. Now you want to think about doing this anywhere from 5 to 10 breaths, and our goal is to get lateral rib expansion as well as back expansion. Next exercise is going to be a super simple dead bug position. We really want to focus on getting those lower abdominals to turn on. So I'm going to come down onto the mat. I'm going to show you 2 variations for today's exercise. So you want to think about pulling your hip bones towards one another, and you want to think about bracing your core so that it stabilizes your spine and your pelvis. You're going to bring your knees up into a tabletop position, and level 1, you're going to just tap down and tap down. And then level 2, you can add the arms in. So notice that I'm talking through this, I'm breathing through this, but my core is nice and braced. I'm going to drive one leg down and one arm out. And then of course your more advanced version is driving both legs, or not both legs, but one leg all the way out and one arm all the way out. These are just a couple of progressions that you can take to start to turn on those lower abdominals. Our final movement is going to be a hamstring elevated bridge. You can use a low bench, a stack of books, or even a yoga block. You want to think about pressing your feet into the bench as you lift up. You want to think about pressing and then dragging so you get more of those hamstrings on board. The more scooted back you are from your feet, the more you're going to get hamstrings. The closer your bum is to your feet, the more glutes you're going to get. Our goal in this move is to get those hamstrings. I want to think about inhaling at the bottom and then pressing my feet into the bench as I lift up. And I want to make sure that my hamstrings are turning on. Your glutes will turn on as well, but our main goal for this movement is those hamstrings. So again, think about pressing the feet into your bench and dragging them back without actually dragging back. You should feel those hamstrings turn on pretty quickly.